I just think that in reality, you gotta have common sense along with book smart. You gotta have common sense. If you don't know not to put your hand on this damn stove because it's hot, that means you have no common sense. It's hot. You know you don't supposed to put your hand on it.
What we're seeing, what's going on is, unfortunately, you have a lot of fathers in prison, right? We were programmed early on, Mo, when the fathers couldn't be in the home, when our parents had to be on welfare. So we were programmed then. They was programming us then to take the man out the home, right? The head, the guy who's supposed to teach his son how to shave, tie his tie. Eye opener. This is for a conversation for with our kids and grandkids. Because we if we took passing to our kids, they should be passing down to their kids. But they're watching us, so we act out here acting a fool. Guess what's gonna happen? Who they learning from? Where they getting information from?
You know what? This is exactly why the therapists or the counselors, my job becomes harder, because I deal with the men that are being taken, I'll say, addicted to something. Either to sex, they're addicted to sex, they're addicted to drugs, they have miscommunication, they're angry. They're angry at their fathers for not being in the picture. They're angry at the mothers for what the mothers couldn't provide. And I'm speaking from a mother that came from a marriage. So I was married and the husband left.
About all black. I don't think it's for all cultures, but like dude said, man, women want the bad boy. They attracted to them. They're not attracted to the nerds or anything like that, because they made fun of them in high school. They had their own businesses, or they come up with new inventions, and then they probably think later on, I should have talked to him or something like that. But it's that's what they like, because they said in these rap videos, they said in the movie. So it's all.
Like, I don't feel like police being in the area is the answer because of the tension. There's already problems. Like, if I see you, the first thing in my mind is to run, hide. They gonna search me, gun me down, Trayvon. I don't think that that's the answer. But
okay, Molly Moho. Appreciate all y'all for tuning in as always. They got it a lot better than we had it growing up. We literally had to wait on daddy or mommy to hand us money or food stamps to go to the store. Now, and they can be all the way at work and say, "Mom, I'm hungry, I need more money." Cash out right to your car and you good. So it's different times. So.
Yeah, we back. Welcome to another episode of the Tom Mo Show. Y'all know it's Thursday when the conversation get a little deep. Some people be shouting Thursday, man. They don't know which way it might go, but y'all already know, man. I'm here to teach. I ain't here to preach. Hey, what's up, D? Hey, Miss Reynolds. Welcome in. Y'all please share and like before we get started. I got two special guests in here with me today. They no stranger to the show, but it's good to have them back on. First, I'm gonna bring in my boy B More Mac. Where you been there, brother? How you been, man?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm here, man. I'm here. I'm in the gauntlet.
He said he here, y'all. I'm gonna have to cut you up, son. You're a little low over there.
You hear me?
I got you. And I got my other brother. Y'all know the Reverend Dr. Kenneth Clark. How you doing today, brother?
Doing phenomenal.
Hey, it's good to see y'all kings on here today, man. It's definitely good to see y'all. D, I see D supposed to be on here with us today. I see that he said they blocking him, from coming on, but he here. They hating on me. They ain't nothing new, D. One of y'all give me feedback. So whenever y'all ready to talk, just mute and unmute y'all mic. Probably Kenny. the doctor. He stayed with that line jumping over there. They be calling non-stop, man. Hey, I don't know about the day, man. I don't know if people gonna be ready for the day though, Kenny, man. But before we get started, man, I just want to know how y'all doing, man. It's good to have both of y'all on. Y'all ain't never meet each other. This my boy Matt, man, and this my boy Kenny. You know, hopefully we can do this more often. But I think y'all will be a good blend today. This gonna be a good conversation. So that's why I got y'all both on. We ain't gonna have D today, but we gonna go ahead and get started. I don't know how much I know about Horus, or if y'all even heard about Horus, the god Horus that some people, you know, still worship or maybe used to worship. You know, it can be Greek mythology, however you want to call it. But he got a lot of comparison with Jesus, and you know he was around before Jesus, so a lot of people don't know that. And when I be having these conversations with people, like it just be it goes everywhere, especially Christians, you know. So I tend not to try to have them conversations with them, but sometimes it come that way. And it's just studies that I've read, you know, that don't make anything I say true. You know, like at the end of the day, if you believe something, that don't mean you know it. So that's the topic for today as well, y'all. So the topic today is you can't believe something and know it. It's impossible, because if you believe it, then that means you don't know. If you know it, that means you ain't gotta believe it because you know it. You know, like that's the end of it. Like Kenny, you know you wearing glasses right now. You don't believe you wearing glasses. You know you wearing glasses, so ain't nothing to believe. But when you believe something, that means you don't know it. You know, and we gonna get to that. But that's the topic for today. We get a couple of people and get time to get in here because I ain't see if you gonna come in yet. What's up, Ms. Hers? We giving out one of your gifts tomorrow. Ms. Hers done donated a lot of things to the Tom O Show for we can give out to our viewers, you know. So Ms. Runnels was the first one. The Tom O, she'll be able to drop that off to you today. He was a little under the weather during the week, though. You know, he should be able to drop it off. She won the shea butter. So this week, I don't know, it might be a blender. She done dropped off portable little refrigerators. It's a lot of good things. So just keep watching so y'all can have the answer. But we're going to go ahead and get it started, Kenny, man, because y'all going to see why I brought up this topic today. I'm going to start off with my OT. He was talking to a white guy, you know, and they was like outside or somewhere, probably like outside on the street, just a random place. I don't know where they was at, but I like the conversation they was having. He was asking this guy, was he white or do he believe he white? And the guy was like, yeah, I believe I'm white. You know, then it went from believing to knowing, you know, so y'all gonna see it. I ain't gonna break down too much of the conversation. I'm just gonna pull it up for y'all so y'all can understand where I'm going at with this conversation, Doc. I want y'all over here just guessing. But
I think I'm a white man. You think? Yeah. No, do you believe? I believe I am a white man. Don't you know that belief is a doubt? How is belief a doubt? Eh? How is belief? Because you cannot believe something and know it. Wait, my poor brain, wait. Hang on. I cannot believe it and know it. No. And you can only believe in what you don't know. I like that. You can only believe in what you don't know. You don't know. That's why you have to believe it. Yes. Ah. Now, do you believe in your mother and your father? No, I know my mother and father. Yeah. So, but you might believe in Jesus. I might believe in Jesus. Because you don't know Jesus. I've never met him. You can only believe in what you don't know. True. So know that belief is a doubt. Now, do you know that you are a white man? If you know that you are white, explain to me how you know this. Okay, my mother is Portuguese and she's white. My father is Scottish with blonde and blue eyes. And you reckon they are white? I reckon. All right, listen to this conversation. Go on, yourself. If I get water, yeah, it's quite simple. Yeah. I get a black can, yeah, a white one, yeah, a blue one, and a yellow one. And I fill them with water and seal them. Yeah, okay. When you look, would you see the water? You can't see the water at all. What would you see? Nothing, just the white and the black. You would see the different colors. The different colors. And if you trust those eyes of yours, yeah, you're going to believe that they're different, aren't you? I will believe it. Until you go and fucking taste them. Correct. And what are you going to discover? That it's all just water. All one. Oneness in diversity, we call it. Yeah. Now you see all these human beings that you see, yeah, who believe that they are Japanese, Chinese, blacks, and whites. Yeah. They are the same. And if you go to any one of them, excuse me, sir, what color is your mind? You see, you hear what he said? He doesn't know what color his mind is. No, go and ask a Japanese. He don't know either. No. Because we are spirits living in different color physical bodies. We are not our bodies. When you look with the eyes, you are not seeing me. You are seeing the body. Just like I tell you, when you look at the tins, you won't see the water, will you? No. It's up. When you look at my body and say I'm a black man, that is a program. You was programmed from birth, yeah, to believe that you are blacks and whites. But you fuck all like that. You're just a spirit in a body full of the same stinking shit. Thank you, my friend.
What's up, everybody? This is Big Tony of the legendary Trouble Phone, and you're tuned in to the Tom Mo Show. Let's get it.
Man, yeah, I'm feeling better. Hey, hopefully y'all got the message. You know, we just spiritual beings in the same body, but they get us to believe shit. They program us. A lot of people don't believe in program because they like to feel like they smart because they actually was programmed to feel that way. You know, so they don't like you to tell them that you just a spiritual being having, you know, in a body having a spiritual experience. I mean, a human experience, and they get pissed off, you know, because they program and told them how the earth was made, you know, how they got here. They tell them stories and things like that. But I'm just like, we don't do that with no other animals. Like when we see a cat, we like, that's a white cat, a black cat, a blue cat. But them cats ain't out here fighting each other based off color. A cat is a cat. At the end of the day, you don't get a description of a cat when that joint scratch you. You just be like, man, Slim Cat scratched the shit out of me. You ain't gonna be like, what color was the cat? You know, but the minute a crime happened, they say, what color was it? You know, what was his race? Things like that, you know. So I just want y'all to understand that race is a belief to me based off this clip. You know, I hope y'all understand why I'm saying that, you know. But what's your thoughts on this, B More Mac? You think that it's something that you believe or you know?
You know, it's what'll make it confusing for everybody is, first of all, to play on words, but what he was actually saying and what it all blend down to is I heard somebody a few years say meat suit, and I know the spirit. I truly believe in the spirit and the energy, and spirit is what lives in all of us. So and again, the skin, going back to the meat suit, we've been programmed to put everything into that and believe into that. So, you know.
That's tough. What about you, Kenny? You think you can believe something in Lord?
You take me back to my college days, sir. Critical thinking here. This is a tough one. It's a tough one. I believe I can believe you can believe and know. All in one.
Okay. Explain that. How is that possible?
Like this stool that I'm sitting on. I know that it has the ability, that I know that it was made for it to be set, right? So I know that. My belief is this stool is going to remain still, right? But an earthquake could happen to where it calls, guess what? I might tumble and fall. So even though I know, you get what I'm saying? Even though I know that this stool was designed to be sat on. I know that. And my belief is that as long as I continue to sit on it, that it will remain strong. So I don't know if that was a piss poor example, but
I get what you're saying, you know, and I think that's programming. You know, like no matter what I say, you're gonna find a reason to that the work, but you know that's a stool. You don't believe that's a stool, so you finding other things to say about the stool. You talking about what it can do. The whole purpose is it a stool? Do you believe or do you know it's a stool?
And you know what? At the very beginning, the definition of believe and the definition of knowing It's a program. You what is believing and knowing? They call it that. It's a different word in another language. So you're believe in program. I mean, believe and knowing. I believe and I know and I believe. When it is whatever it is what it is. And that's in the present time. And you can't do anything about anything behind you or ahead of you. So it's no believe or knowing. It is what it is.
Yeah. And it's good to know, and y'all gonna see why I brought a lot of this up, because it's gonna get spicy from here on out, because I be having conversations with people, and I used to get into like what they call it debate. Some people get arguing, they get loud and all types of things because you want them to get past the programming. But most times I believe what they believe. So I've been there, so they telling me things and using things in an argument that I once used before. That I already know. I already know why they feel this way, why they think this way, so they refuse to get out of it, and it used to get frustrating to me. And I used to be like, man, I wish I can record some of these conversations. So I seen a dude on TikTok recorded himself having this conversation with himself, because this is impossible. It's really hard to have these conversations with people because they don't want to hear it. They don't want to know where these stories came from. A lot of these stories just remade and retold, and some of them they tweak a little different. So just something a little different. They say, well, this was different, but still the whole main structure came from this. Just because if I build a house and you build a house and you take the same model that I took, but you just make your driveway a little different, you can be like, well, he didn't really copy him because his driveway. No, it was still copied. You just added something to yours to make it yours. And ain't nothing wrong with that. But I just want people to understand those things happen, so I'm gonna share this clip with y'all, and y'all give me y'all thoughts after this, and really pay attention, because a lot of people don't understand where we get Jesus from. When you try to explain it to them, what the whole story came about, why they had to go find Jesus, when he died, all that. They don't know about the winter solstice. This happens every year. The sun dies, and it comes back to life. That's why we celebrate his life on the 25th. Not Jesus, the Son of God, but S-U-N, the Son of God. But I'm gonna share this clip and we're gonna get deep with it.
Jesus is just a big reference to astrology. You know that, right? As a Christian, I'm pretty sure the Bible speaks against zodiac signs, so that's definitely not true. I mean, I can explain it to you if you want. Go on, enlighten me. Okay, say less. So as you already know, all ancient civilizations worship the sun. They understood that without it, life on this planet would not exist. Because of this, they also worship the stars and track the sun's movement through the stars, hence why we have zodiacs. Now this is where the story of the sun, or the sun, begins. Now let's take a look at Sirius, the brightest star in the east. On December 24th, Sirius aligns with the three brightest stars in Orion's belt, aka the Three Kings. And on December 25th, all three kings and Sirius all point to the sun. Now let's relate this back to the Bible. Didn't the three wise men use the star in the east to locate something? Well, yeah, they followed the star to find Jesus, the birth of the sun. Exactly. But wait, there's more. Let's talk about Mary. The Virgin Mary represents the Virgo constellation. Virgo is the house of bread because August and September represent the time of harvest. Now Bethlehem translates to the house of bread. Oh my gosh, isn't that the birthplace of Jesus Christ? Well, yeah, but I'm not finished. During December 22nd and December 24th, the sun stops moving south. During this pause, the sun stays in the southern crux. This pause represents death because of the long cold nights and lack of harvest during the winter. Now call me crazy, but that kind of looks like the crucifix that Jesus died on. Whoa, that's a coincidence. Okay, you can stop now. No, let me finish. On December 25th, the sun moves up 1 degree north. This is why you celebrate Christmas as the birth of the sun, and Easter as the resurrection of the sun, when we have longer, warmer days to bring in new life. So you see, Jesus actually is the sun. Not the sun, but the sun. So this is why they demonize astrology.
What's up, everybody? This is Big Tony of the legendary Trouble Phone, and you're tuned in to the Tom Boat Show. Let's get it.
I hope I ain't pissed nobody off, because I know how it gets sometimes when people hear the truth. They like, nah, that ain't true, Just do your research. People out here rocking zodiac. Oh, I'm a Cancer, I'm a Libra, but they don't even know where these signs come from. You know, they don't understand that, yeah, Mary was a virgin, you know, but a lot of these things, it's not real people. You know, Jesus was the life, the Son of God, but it wasn't actually like a person. You know, like these stories actually stolen and it was rewritten, but just in a different way. And I hope that video helps some of y'all, but I still refer for y'all to do y'all own research. You know, I done did my research. I knew this for a long, long time. It just when I try to have this conversation with people, I never can get through with it. Because the minute, oh no, that's a lie. Where you get this from? Oh, this and it. Like, just research it. And sometimes I can show you, but you won't stop and let me tell you where you can find it at. You know, this and all the book, and these stories existed before Jesus. You know, I'm just letting y'all know why it lines up so well. Like why the three kings had to follow the East Star to find the birth of Jesus. All this stuff, it is astronomy. But if you don't know astronomy, you wouldn't know that. You know, so there's a lot of things that I think we should know that we just refuse not to know because we stuck to our programming. And it's not what you believe, it's what you know. And it's some things that we should know. You should know both stories so you can compare the two. But when you know both stories, you're going to understand that they both similar. And you're going to understand that one is older than the other. So whichever one came first, like I said, my house, just because you, babe, put a little different driveway and you still copy from me. They copied this. You know, and they took it from our people, the ones that look like us, and now they giving us our religion, but in a different way. They telling it in a different story, a way that they want to tell it. So I don't know. I can be wrong though, y'all. Like I always say, what's your thoughts on this, Matt?
Well, and this is real serious. Think about information, and for the first time, because of who we are and where we are in the world right now, we're exposed to the most information we've ever been exposed as a people. But all the information we've basically ever been exposed to has been a lie. So at what point do you say, I'm going to surrender to this? When it's still just information, it's knowledge, whether it's useful, whether it's truthful, you never know how you can learn about a nuclear explosion all day long and look at the pictures of what it did to somebody's skin, and all of that could all be fabricated, but until you actually experience the burn, you can't talk. We can't put a what do they call when you can't fact check it, because we don't know what we're really getting. It sounds good. So all you can do is take that and say, I'm going to store it here with the rest of my information after some point in time, because as you grow and go through different seasons in your life, you continue to gather more information and you come up with your own story or your own, your own ending of what you figure out.
And that's the thing. This is not our story. You know, like you said, we can come up with our own story, but how can we ever come up with our own story when we programmed to believe in other people's story? I like to bring up old story to show them how they similar, and none of these motherfuckers true. You know, it's somebody that came up with these stories and it makes sense, you know, but they still, this is how the earth works. They really talking about the sun. Like the Egypt times and stuff, they really studied the sun. They studied the stars, you know, so that's what they knew. Like they know that. They ain't believe this how the sun work and this how the stars work. They knew this how it worked, you know, and they actually kept it intact. It's just the people that came along, they don't want us to know how the earth works. So they started to make these things into characters. You know, now they got names and things like that. So you don't understand how the real world works. We don't understand that the sun actually dies and come back. We don't understand that the sun get all of us life because we think Jesus do, or we believe Jesus do. And I say, I'm not saying that he don't. People really believe it, he might do, but I'm just saying that without the sun, we all die. We ain't gonna last a day without the sun. If the sun, something happened to the sun, we all die. Us, the plants, the trees, everything that's living out here died. And that's what they talking about. That's what they talking about back in the days in ancient time. But today we actually talk about flesh. They actually thinking that a man walks on water when we see the sun walk on water every day. They only talking about when the sun reflects off of water. But we really think it's a man that did these miracles. When they say they healed the sick, or brought the dead back to life. Every time the crops die, the leaves, the trees, they die when the sun come back around, or summertime, it grows back. It comes back to life. Them same trees you seen die comes right back to life. But what's your thoughts on this, Kenny, after seeing that clip?
Man, it's so much that could be said, but everything that you just said, about the ability about what happens with nature, the sun, the position of the sun, and how when stuff grows and when it dies off and it comes back to life. Knowledge is power. You know what I'm saying? And um, you know, the, in reality, what we're doing, we're evolving, we're growing, we're transitioning, we become enlightened. Um, and the thing of it is that you know, wholeheartedly, the sun, SON, SUN, 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 is where we get our melanation from, our radiance from, we get our natural vitamin D from. These are things that we should embrace. We should embrace the galaxies, the stars, the planets, you know, these are things were created for us to embrace. You know, you know, um, I just had a conversation with somebody a few weeks ago. I said we always saying astrology is bad, but our astrology is what they use to find Jesus when he was born in the manger. He used the stars. You know what I'm saying? He used, he followed. You know what I'm saying? So this is just something to really grapple with.
We gotta get it together, y'all. I just want to tell our story like my boy Matt said. What up, Kimberly? We got Kim in the house, DJ Slicky Woo Boo. We got the other Kimberly, KK. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Miss Runner as always, Miss Hurd. Man, what y'all think? I see a lot of y'all watching, but they ain't coming. Hopefully y'all learning something. Hopefully this ain't old news to a lot of y'all, but we gonna definitely keep it going because it's things that we should know. And like I said, that don't make any of this true. I just want y'all to know where they got these stories from. That don't make all of these stories true, but these stories were stolen and told back in these times. Now we're in a whole new time. I'm with Matt. Let's tell our story. Like why Martin Luther King can't be a prophet. Malcolm X, they was crucified. They did a lot of healing out here. Dr. Sebi, it's a lot of people that did a lot of great things, but sometimes I just think they don't want us to know because we'll find out who we really are and how we should really treat this earth. They shouldn't be cutting down all these trees just to print money. They shouldn't be polluting the water, like just to grab fish, sell it to us. Like everything they doing is terrible. And the more they program you to a lot of these things, you'll think it's okay with it. You really think God would get life to something just for us to kill it and eat it? I don't know, but that's the things that I be thinking about, because if something was hunting us to kill us from birth, it's something.
But you only have a certain amount of time within a lifetime to get this information, gather this information, get all these other people understanding what the information is, build the army and defend yourself from the attack that's been on you from the day you was born.
Yeah.
And they understand that too. You don't have enough time and you can't get enough people organized. And if you do, you out of here. And if you begin to make an uproar, you get too loud, I'll take all your money. So that's why, when Doc say knowledge is power, I mean, it is. But then if you have the knowledge and you know what's going on, it can drive you crazy too. When you all of a sudden you wake up and you go, oh shit, this is what's happening, and makes some people crazy.
Yeah, man. A lot of people think I'm crazy. I ain't crazy, man. Not yet. But it do be amazing, like only to me, when I hear people saying that they believe in a lot of these things, it's like when you still a kid and the other kids don't know Santa not real. And you be like, what, you still believe in Santa? And you become adult, they give you another sign or anything to believe in, and you be like, damn, you still believe in that? You know, and it's just like they never get out of that program. Imagine a kid 13, 15 years old still talking about they believe in Santa. 18 years old. You're gonna be like, dog, like you know Santa not real now. Did you ever see him? Did it like anything that they say? Did you ever see any of this? No, you know. But when it comes outside of that, anything that come after Santa Claus, they take it, man. They take it. But I'm gonna share this clip with y'all because I told y'all it's gonna get spicy today, man. We gonna talk about it. The top of the day is you
Find
can't
out
believe
whether or
them
not
and
the
know it.
following is true about the Egyptian god Horus. Horus was born on December 25th, or the winter solstice, in a manger. He was of royal descent.
Lost sound.
Descent, and his mother was the Virgin Isis Mary. Horus's birth was announced by a star in the east and attended by 3 wise men. At age 12, he was a child teacher in the temple, and at age 30, he was baptized. Horus was baptized by Anup the Baptizer, who was decapitated. The Egyptian god had 12 companions, helpers, or disciples. Horus performed miracles, exorcised demons, and raised Osiris from the dead. The god walked on water. Horus was crucified between 2 thieves. He, or Osiris, was buried for 3 days in a tomb and resurrected. Horus, or Osiris, was also the way, the truth, the life, Messiah, the Son of Man, the Good Shepherd, the Lamb of God, the Word made flesh, the Word of truth, etc. Horus was called Holy Child as well as the Anointed One, while Osiris was the Christ. Horus battled with the Evil One, Set or Seth. Horus was to reign for 1,000 years. Christ in Egypt, the Horus-Jesus connection, uses thousands of primary source texts, such as the Egyptian Book of the Dead, the Pyramid texts, the Coffin texts, the Hebrew and Greek Old Testaments, the Greek New Testament, Coptic texts, and the writings of early church fathers. Christ in Egypt also includes research in the original languages such as Egyptian, Greek, Latin, and Hebrew. Christ in Egypt incorporates modern research in German and French, with everything conveniently translated for your ease of reference. Christ in Egypt further includes a brand new map of Egypt specifically created by the author with all the relevant place names. Christ in Egypt further provides 60+ illustrations. Contains
Hey you guys, all you social media junkies out there, I'm Lady of Troy, and I'm here to ask all of you to participate in watching the Tom Mo Show. The Tom Mo Show is incredible, it's entertaining, energetic, and informative, and you really don't want to miss it. Monday through Fridays from 1 to 2 p.m., and then you get a double shot on Wednesdays from 9:30 to 10:30. I'll see you there.
Welcome to the Tom Mo Show.
Got Miss Olivia in the house. What's up, Miss Olivia? Appreciate you for tuning in. I know you're a busy woman. Hopefully, I ain't hurt too many feelings out there. Like I told y'all today, we going in today. And at the end of the day, that don't make any of these things true. I just want y'all to research it. I just want y'all to understand that these stories came out before the story of Jesus Christ. And it's the exact same story. A lot of y'all might say this or that was different, but I'm saying, come on now. He was born to a virgin. He walked on water. He resurrected Osiris from the dead. He done did a lot of things. He did everything I believe Jesus did, you know, and at the same time, you know, even when he got baptized. So it's just like, and he just one of many others who have this exact same story, who also was born before Jesus Christ, or the story was out before Jesus Christ. It's just weird to me, man. What's your thoughts on this, though? Be more mad.
You would think you would think Jesus was killed in the hood, because ain't nobody snitching on who did it or how it did it. It's a different story. But what you do know is that something happened. Something happened, and there's if you like you ever seen a long time, you get like 1,000 people and they'll say orange and they'll keep saying the word. By the time it gets to the end of the line, they're saying something else, and that's what we're going through in history, and people adding this and that. But what we know as a fact is that something happened, because every book that means something in every religion has something kind of sort of similar, and at some point in time, you just have to go with your heart. You have to really go with your heart and know what kind of human being you are, and know that you're righteous, and you can live honorably without following anything written. And even if things you read that are written, you know how to pull the best from it. It's just that'll be a gift you'll have automatically when you have faith. That's the way I feel.
You're right. What about you, Reverend? I know you in the church every day, so this probably hit a little different for you.
I mean, with my background, philosophy and history, you know what I'm saying? There's different, I guess you'd say different perspectives, right? Different outlooks. Because even amongst the faith, a lot of us don't always believe the same way. You get what I'm saying? So being enlightened to information like this, you just gotta, like my brother just said, you gotta go with your heart. You gotta go with your heart, and and know where it is that you're positioned. You know what I'm saying? Know where you're at.
You gotta go with your heart. See, the only thing about that's like hearing somebody say that, you gotta just let people believe what they want to believe in, go with their heart. I get it.
That's where God lives, my friend.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, if you say you want to wear whatever you want to wear whatever outfit you want, but I hand you the outfit that I picked out. Here you go. But you want to wear what you want. How you actually wearing what you want when I hand you all the outfits? You ain't picked this outfit out. You're not actually believing in what you want. You believing in what you was subscribed to, what you was programmed to believe in. So that's the only thing I get out of that when I hear people say that. What do you want? You don't know what you want, because all this was given to you. Even the way we talk, our slang, everything we do, it was given to us. So you don't actually want to do something that you want to do. You want to do something you programmed to do. I don't even care if you're playing basketball. Basketball was given to you. It's something you was programmed to do. You seen other people doing it, and then you was like, you know what? This is what I'm going to subscribe to. You got some people that make it, some people don't. But at the end of the day, you weren't born to be a hooper. You got people say, I was just born to do this. Then what do that say about the people before basketball was here, or football was here, or any of these crazy major sports? I was just born to be a singer on the stage. It wasn't always singing. So it's just like they program us to just follow certain things. And that's just my opinion at the end of the day. That a lot of people saying they chose to be Christians, but most of them was programmed to be Christians.
Right. And Democrats and everything else, you know what I mean? And West Siders, you know what I mean? And you have to be, this is the other thing, you have to be programmed to not be programmed anymore.
Yeah.
You have to get with some group to say, we're not going to be that anymore. I'm not going to stand in line for that no more. I ain't going to sprinkle no more of that on this. You know what I mean? I ain't going to drink this up and go get another one. It's all these things because somebody said, this is a good time. This is a good time. This is a good time, because we never ever found ourselves, and found out what we like to be a good time. It's always what somebody else said was a good time, and what tastes good, and what looked good, and what we need to say, and how you speak to somebody, and that's again because of lack of knowledge and cheating off of somebody else's damn paper. Cheating off of somebody else's paper instead of exploring this world for yourself. And it takes, you might spend your whole life, it's all gone, and you look back and go, damn, I'm free away from, I don't have to go to work for him every day because I got to pay for these kids. I don't have to, I can just take and go outside and feed pigeons and look like an old person. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, but that's freedom, getting away from the herd. You know, and be careful. There's a rustler that's gonna come and get you when you get away from the herd, because they're trying to get your ass off the slaughter. You know what I mean? And nobody escapes. You know, and that's what it's all about. And if you start to escape, you start to gain knowledge, and that's the only way you can.
That's the thing, knowledge. And what you guys say, Kenny? I see you about to add something. What's that?
Unlearn, relearn, evolve. That's really what it's all about.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? If you've been accustomed, like for example, you've been accustomed to grease, right? You've been accustomed to eat that bacon, right? That bacon that you know, that bacon that you just that you cut up and throw in the pan, and you know, you've been accustomed to eating that, right? But when you learn the reality that, hold up, all that grease, it really ain't jolly good for you, because whole time it's messing your cholesterol up, it's your high blood pressure, you know, it's causing all these things, right? So now that you unlearn, right, and so you unlearn, and then now you've grown, right? So then you say, oh, okay, well, what can I do? You get introduced to, you know, the information, right, of knowledge, right? And then you become conscious oriented to dictate whether or not, if it is that you want to believe or to indulge into that thing. So unlearn, relearn, evolve.
I like that. I always tell people you gotta relearn everything, you know, because they was giving us the food pyramid. These the same people, you know. That's a lot of people like to separate it. These people who run the world is the same people. They the one that put things in order. But the food pyramid was some bullshit. Now that we older, they found out a lot of these foods that was on the pyramid when we went to school cause cancer. It's not good for you. It caused a lot of health problems. But I remember people like, oh, you follow the food pyramid. You should do this and do this. And people just programmed to just do whatever another person tell them is best to do, instead of finding out what's best for them. That's why I used to love Dr. Sebi so much. You know, I wish we was able to protect them. You know, a lot of people don't understand that. And one thing that give me the most is when you hear people say they want to know knowledge, more knowledge. They want to be enlightened. And every time I hear that, it always comes to me, you know, that's what we should all want. But it's just like, if that's devilish things, if that's a devilish way, according to, because once they bit the apple, that's when they got enlightenment. That's when they got knowledge. You know, so that just never dawned on me, like, these dudes, or Adam and Eve, it's plenty of other stories that I was about to talk about, a whole nother story. But since we on Christian, you know, Adam and Eve, they ate an apple and they was able to gain knowledge. That's so crazy, and that's all we want out here is knowledge. They was able to be more enlightened. They understood they was naked. They needed to put clothes on. They understood how the way the world worked now. You know, so it's just like, knowing, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? You know, because a lot of people want more knowledge, but when you read these texts and these messages, they was forbidden. You know, it's like they didn't want us to know. And the only way you knew, you had to disobey God. So you had a lot of people out here saying that, oh, the Bible was flipped. You know, actually God was the devil was God. They got all type of weird stuff that they making up at the end of the day story. So people can do it because obviously they allowed it. These stories was published and they got paid for it. It's a Beyonce religion out here. People actually worshiping Beyonce. It's books she got published and they getting paid for it. The Holy Bible was still the #1 selling book in the world. Nothing would ever touch it. The only thing that ever came close to it was Pinocchio. And Pinocchio ain't nothing about opening up your pineal gland. So a lot of things about the world and how the world works, they telling us in code. And it's just like when you unbreak these codes, it's like, damn, do this shit even make sense? What's your thoughts on that though? Be more what they say Adam and Eve bit the apple and then they gained knowledge and they was more enlightened. Like, why wasn't they there in the first place? Why God got them just out here with no knowledge at all? They didn't even know they was naked.
Well, when you talk about this, I think for some reason 3-card Molly, the shell game, comes into play when they have you looking at one thing so much that you don't see where the ball is really at. And throughout history, what we don't realize is that they always had an end game. They figured out a way to attack a culture, us, without any weapons. They could kill us with our diet. The end game was, okay, give them the salt and sugar now. The end game is to make the money off of them through the healthcare system down the line, because we have family that gets paid from this. When you can look at a group of people as a herd and see how they feed, what makes them produce, what makes them don't produce, when you can study a group of people, and especially people that you want to control, and then turn them from people who from backs to people that's actually putting dollars in your pocket, and you don't have to own a bunch of land and have them work in the land, and we can just continue to distract them with all of these things. Now we got people out here, these are influencers. Yeah, the person who puts on the eyelashes and then everybody's wearing the eyelashes. These are the people basically that'll get niggas to do whatever we want them to do, and they'll buy whatever they want. It started when Run DMC jumped out there and said Adidas, and the guy held it up and was like, whoa, they'll do whatever we say. Put this on, put that on. Even right now, when we came on today, I was like, man, I can't even get up here without advertising something. And we ain't getting paid a penny for it. But I'm advertising something from somebody, and we all are. We're caught up in that gauntlet of control and profit, and few people going to escape, but you don't have enough time in your lifetime to make any changes. So that says what? Give up. What do? You make the best and know that real is there, and you just keep on moving, man, and try to keep away from the traps, because they're waiting.
They definitely waiting. What up, Nene? We got my girl Nene up in here. Appreciate you for tuning in, Nene. Miss Olivia says, speak, brother, speak. We had a lot of good comments, too. Said, everything I have, I earned, and nothing was given to me. God just blessed me with so many talents that it took him to take everything to believe that he had something greater for me. And that's what I believe in, man. I don't think nobody here just able to be good at one thing. Like, we talented in anything we put our mind to. We gifted, we gifted beings, and a lot of y'all came in probably a little later. So y'all probably missed the first clip that actually brought us into this conversation. It was a white guy asking, it was a black guy actually asking a white guy, do he believe, or no, he white. In the beginning, he said he believed, and he was saying that believing is not knowing. Like, if you believe something, you can't know it. If you know something, then there's no point in believing because and he broke down a lot of things. So I put the video in the comments for some of y'all who probably missed it. But what's your thoughts on that, Kenny, man, about this knowledge? Just like they ain't had no knowledge at all until they bit the apple. Why is that? Is that some metaphors for something? Because that's what I believe. But you got other people saying God was the devil and the devil was God, because God always wanted to have knowledge, and there was more people in town, and the devil was keeping Adam and Eve their hostages, and they ain't know it was more people out of town till they get the apple. God came disguised as a snake or some other type of other form, got them to bit the knowledge, and then they was able to escape. But that's a whole nother book. That's why I said we're gonna stick to the Christianity one. What's your thoughts on that, just coming from the Christianity side? What do that mean in me? Because they got knowledge after biting that apple. When you want knowledge.
Yeah. That I mean, I have always wrestled with that concept, the story of Adam and Eve, because it's like, okay, was this a testing? What was he trying to build? You know what I'm saying? What are we to gain from that story? Is it self-control? Is it discipline? I mean, you look into that, because some said, well, it was just simply about obedience. Some said it was just about their faith. Some, you know. So it's when you look at it, it's a lot of different uh questions that are derived from that story as a whole. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? It's I mean, because it's still this was one of the things that I talked about in school and ministry was like, okay, we hear about Adam and Eve, and we only hear about Cain and Abel. But Adam and Eve had more than just Cain and Abel. You get what I'm saying? There's still other pieces that's missing. They had a huge family. Wasn't just Cain and Abel. You know what I'm saying? So these are the things that make you go, you know.
And most people say, well, they took some out, this and this. They try to make sense of it. They will feel the pieces in themselves instead of trying to go find the pieces, and that's what always bothered me. Even once they left, they was in a whole city. It's like, how is it a city already built? How's it other people? Where they come from? These supposed to be the first people there. Like, how's it other people already out? Then you hear about the story about Lila. Then you like, Lila, who was Lila? You find out, oh, Adam had a first wife. And then that story makes more sense, but it's somehow they push this Adam and Eve, so I don't know why.
I think Dr. Clark says something interesting. At the other thing is, at different points in time in your life in which you've experienced, you'll answer that question differently. It'll continue to evolve as long as it's still a question to ask. It's kind of relevant in the Bible because that's what it's in a way. Everything constantly keeps you questioning and wondering, and as you grow, you see it differently based on your own life experiences, and so that same whatever just it's always different, and so
yeah, that's scary though, man. I just never thought like somebody get away with this. Like now that I'm older, like you said, it's a lot of different answers. When I was young, oh yeah, I was with it, saying anything. But now that I'm older, I'm a lot sharper. I feel like I think, a lot for myself than allowing somebody just give me an answer. So none of the things actually make sense to me because to me, it looked like a life book. Like if you want to learn about baking or something, you get a book on it. It teach everything about it, what to do, what not to do, what to watch out for, how much to use, and this. And that's how it is with the Bible about life, what to do, what not to do, what you should. And then they tell you about other people's stories who fucked up. And this what happened to them. So if you fuck up, something might happen to you. But if you do right, this what happened to them. So if you do right, God might do this for you. So it's just like this a life book, and at the end of the day, it's to keep you here. Nobody actually want to know how these people took over. They don't get back to the Moors was the ones that taught white people even how to even bathe. They were just sitting in the cave, sleeping with the animals in the barns and things like that. They didn't understand about hygiene. We taught them about hygiene and everything, but now they over here teaching us. That don't make sense to me. It don't make sense.
I've been posting devotionals on my page for probably 5 years now, and after a while, I'm starting. It's repetitive, and I can actually memorize most of them. But the message that I'm saying throughout all of them is about being still. And once you can be still, then you can absorb so much. I mean, it's so much stuff vying for our attention. And that you can't even begin to absorb knowledge. That's why we had to get away from regular TV. It was only 4 or 5 channels, and we need to get these people where you don't even know that you're a king because you haven't had time to see what it is a king is. You haven't had time. They're controlling you. You're part of the herd. You just grouped, and you can't even get out the crowd. And when it's time to eat, the food comes through the crowd to you. You in the herd, eat that burger. Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? No, I'm serious. It's just and be able to hear a man say that word to you and laugh it off, and it's cool. That's all part of all of that. You know what I mean? So
You're right. You got anything to add to that? We're getting down to the last few minutes of the show.
Nah, I concur. I agree.
Miss Olivia said they ain't teaching us shit because we know. I wish that was the case. That ain't the case for all of us, though. You know, we might know, but there's a lot of people out here that they teach it. You know, like they teach you how to talk proper English. So if people talking, oh, you talking ghetto, that ain't prop. Like who the fuck? Like who is a book on how to speak now? It's a book on damn near everything, and they the ones who wrote the book. I just be wanting people to understand that animals don't have books. They got natural instincts. We don't need a book to know how to live and what to do out here. It come naturally. It just for some reason when these people found out from us, when we taught them naturally how we know these things, they wrote it down. To remember, that's why you see a lot of them when they do dances. We dance, we just dance. We just go with the rhythm. They do count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. They gotta do that to stay on beat, to stay on rhythm. We living in a whole nother realm than them, and we're gonna talk about frequencies because I'm gonna share some videos tomorrow on how the different frequencies change the form of the water. So they're gonna play different frequencies like sounds, and you're gonna see the water make different shapes. And every time they play the G sound or the F, it make that exact shape every time. We gotta understand that every time they got these 5G radiations and stuff out here, that's frequencies. And we gotta understand we are majority water. So when that shit hit us, it's doing shit to our fluids in our body, but we don't understand that because they don't want to teach us that. They want us to believe in all these other miracles that you just gotta pray about it. No, we gotta stop making ourselves sick. We killing ourselves, and then we praying that we don't die. That don't make sense.
I tell you, black people can't swim to keep you away from the water. You know, why you don't want us near the water? Why, you know, it's crazy. It's just so much again, and we're just losing our mind now because we're finally getting revealed. Unless you went, we're finally getting revealed to so much information. It's hard to disseminate what is real and what's not, but if you do enough research and you care, you get deep enough, you'll become the product knowledge expert, and you'll know that something's not right. You know, and but then what can you do once you get that information? What's the end game? What can I do now? Where do I go? Do I just sit on this and say, damn, this is crazy?
Can't just sit on it, man.
Right.
Can't just sit on it, man. That hour go fast. Whenever I'm on here with you or just Kenny alone, the time go fast. So to have both of y'all on at the same time, it really flew past. Hey, Kenny, give him some good energy before we go. And then we'll leave with B-Boy Mac, and then we up out of here.
Unlearn, relearn, grow, evolve.
That easy, man. That easy. I like them set of rules right there. B-More Mac, man. Appreciate having you back on as well, man. Give him some good energy before you get up out of here.
Same thing, man. I think he said I learned, you learn, we evolve. Is that what he said? I learned, you learn.
Unlearn, relearn, evolve.
Yeah, man. But I'm glad, bro. You got the time to hear it out. You know what I mean? And we are always sharing positive shit, man. For real. We're always sharing knowledge.
Well, that's another episode for us. As always, man, like I tell y'all, if ain't nobody tell you they love you today, just know that we do. From this time to next time, peace. We up out of here. Appreciate y'all, man. We had a good crowd today, too. Man, we had Miss Olivia. And like you said, if you run, I'm a vote. That's the only time I'm going out there. Y'all see Marty down there at the polls. If Miss Olivia run for anything, I don't care what she run for. I go out there and vote for her, but only her. And I don't care who else. I ain't voting for him. We had my boy DJ Slicky Woo Boy in here. Our girl Nene came through. KB, Kimberly Brown, and we had KK, Kimberly. Appreciate both of the Kimberlys for tuning in. We had Miss Reynolds peeped in with us, Miss Hurst, our boy Big D. Hopefully we can get you back on here next week, D. Scream, y'all been hating on you, man, but it is what it is, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. I told y'all in the back room. All right, later, y'all.
All right.